Hello and welcome to the Futro Hidden Movie Gems podcast. I am your host, Ty Christensen. I'm joined with Jordan Christensen.
What can you offer? I'm young.
Nice. I was going to say something else disturbing, but I didn't want to say it. Spread your legs. Okay. We've got Grant Mickle.
Howdy, howdy.
Say hello to the people, Grant.
He said hello.
Nice.
Did you not hear me?
Yes, he did.
Okay.
Can you guys not hear
Ty's,
me?
No, he
Ty's,
did.
no, Ty's
He
just delayed.
said,
You're good.
Oh, okay.
I'm not delayed. You're all delayed mentally. And we've got Nick.
Cheap.
Blank the last name.
You still Cameron?
I stole Cameron since he's not here. Cheap. Oh. Anyway.
Cheap song.
I like that. You just have to say, what the fudge am I watching? That's all you have to do to be Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
All right, today we are discussing Wrong Turn. This movie came out in 2021. I believe this is a remake, correct? Because there's like a whole
five of them, isn't there?
a whole slew of
Well, this is the
Wrong
seventh
Turn.
film.
Dang.
Well,
dude.
how about that? The seventh film. It's just the seventh entry. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You heard it here, folks. Director, Mike P. Nelson. Writers were Alan B. McElroy and Alan B. McElroy. Wait, that's weird. Why is he listed twice? It's twice the writing, guys. Twice the writing went into this movie. What is that sound? Is someone eating chips?
No, that's his audio is bumping against the jacket.
Take off that jacket,
No,
sir.
it's not. It's not.
And then spread your legs. This movie stars Charlotte Vega, Adaine Bradley, Bill Sage, Emma Dumont, Dylan McTee, Daisy Head, Matthew Modine, and a few others. Vardan Aurora, Adrian Favela, and Tim Desarn. Okay, so...
Nobody recognizes. I do recognize the dad. I don't know what he's in, but I recognize him.
Yeah, the dad, he's been in a few things. Matthew Modine, what's he in?
Probably just.
I'm looking up his IMDb.
He's just a dad and other stuff.
I'm seeing him. He's apparently in that Stanley Kubrick film, right?
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's who he is. I remember seeing that and being like,
He's Private Joker, right? Yeah.
yeah.
He's just a little, yeah.
What?
He's definitely a lot younger in that one. Stanley Kubrick, he's Private Joker.
And what's it called? Not Shell Shocked. What's that movie called?
Oh, Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah. So we're gonna go around and say what was like watching this movie the first time and what was like rewatching it for the podcast. Let's start with you, Grant.
For me, so I've only seen it once. It was very, very strange watching this movie. Like, I've never seen any of the other movies. So I kind of went into it thinking it was just like a traditional horror movie.
Grant, I'll tell you
And-
right now, it is nothing like the other movies. They even make a comment in the film. The girl's like, yeah, she's asking the dad.
Inbred hillbillies.
Yeah, she asked him what movie do our brothers want to watch tonight, and she's like, oh, another inbred cannibal movie. That's what the other ones are about.
Really?
Yeah, this is like a rebranding of this whole franchise, like
Interesting.
kind of starting anew. Yeah. Which honestly, I don't know much about Wrong Turn. It kind of seems weird that you. Oh well. Anyway, I'll get into that later. But
Sorry, Grant, keep going.
so yeah, keep going, Grant.
Yeah, so it was just like, had no background to what the movie was about. And so like, when, I don't know, like watching it the first time, I was just very like, in the middle of the movie, I was kind of disappointed. I was like, oh, like they revealed a lot of stuff. And I was like, this isn't like a normal horror movie, you know? And just a lot of the stuff they did just didn't really make sense. And so like, but I enjoyed the ending. So
I got
overall,
plenty
like,
for the nitpick section. I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, bet you do. Bet you do.
Yeah. So overall, it was an enjoyable watch, but I'd probably never watch it again.
Right on.
All right. Well,
I
I'll
mean,
go next.
You
then.
don't enjoy this film, Dan? You don't enjoy watching hot pokers into the eyeballs?
Oh, that scared me.
You might even say that might be equivalent to your viewing experience. Am I right?
Well, there was a lot of good like jump scares. I enjoyed that. But
Yeah. Hey, Nick, how about you, man? What was it like watching this movie for the first time and rewatching it for the podcast?
Well, I watched it back to back 2 times. I liked them both times, you know, and I was almost like the first time I watched it, I'm like, I might not like this if it's going to be anything like the other Hillbilly ones. Those were terrible. And they were leaning towards that, going towards the Virginia backwoods. I'm like, if it's not Hillbillies, it's a cult. It's something. There's nothing good back there. So going through the whole movie, there was, you know, all those times I'm like, this should be like over, shouldn't it? And I'm looking at the time, it was like, you know, an hour left. I'm like, what is happening? People are getting picked off left and right. What more is there to tell? And then, you know, you kind of get a little bit, and towards the end, I was like, I wish it was still going. I didn't want it to end right there.
Yeah.
So that's why it didn't end. I watched it again for the second time. And, you know, it made a lot more sense.
Oh, yeah.
You know, watching it the second time. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I almost feel like, yeah, it kind of upset me. The first act kind of was like another one of these clean.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so I've only seen this movie once, and having tried to watch Wrong Turn, the original one, turned it off because it was kind of boring.
Oh, I
and
love
outdated.
the original.
And I'm sure there's a lot good in it. It's just like, sometimes it's a product of its time, and I'm sure there'd be like parts of it that I would find really good, but I just turned it off because it wasn't gripping me. Like, I love watching old campy horror, and depending on the movie, like I watched Jeepers Creepers. That movie's
That's
great.
so fun.
Jeepers Creepers is a great one, right? First and second one. Anyway, it's like this one. This movie, this remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it, seventh entry into it. I enjoyed the whole synopsis, and after once the second act begins, I actually really enjoyed it. When you get to the town, there's, you know, so real quick, so people understand, like, the whole group, it's like these Instagram models and all these people. They've got the gay couple, you got the black guy, you got all the diversity in this group, you know? Yeah, which I don't believe for a second that would be real friends in real life, you know?
Why not?
I don't know. They just didn't strike me. I mean, like, maybe if they came straight out of a city, maybe. I don't know. They're just like,
They did come out of a city, I think.
Quote unquote perfect.
They came out of a
They
city.
seemed like a city group.
Yeah, but even then, it's just like, it just seems so silly where it's like, we have the gay friends, we have the interracial couple. Again, maybe I'm silly. I'm like,
it is a
maybe I don't
checklist.
associate with the. Yeah, a little bit of that,
Yeah.
but also, like, it didn't serve any purpose of the movie, if that makes sense. It's like,
I know,
hey,
because
here's
I
these
was getting
characters, but it's
vibes that it'd be like a cult who like was racist or like didn't like gay people.
Yeah, see, I was excited for that. Yeah, see,
and then
The town
it has
was,
nothing
though.
to do with that. No, it didn't. You walk into the town and then there's
The
literally a
town
black
was.
guy there. So I was like, well, it's not a race thing.
Right, right. But Grant, no, to Nick's credit, it did give off that vibe. Like, people were looking at the couple, especially the gay one. They're like looking at him like,
Made you wonder,
well, yeah.
ooh,
And
what's
like,
going
didn't
on
she
here?
say,
never
like, the
did
hotel
anything.
lady's like, don't get into trouble now or something like that? She was literally talking to the gay
Well, look
couple,
how the
like,
cops
don't
said
you be
it.
having...
Right, look how the cops said. He was looking through the pictures. Who's this black fella? Like,
Yeah.
that's-
Yeah, that was a
and
great
you see his
moment, too.
face.
Yeah,
You
see-
see his
yeah.
face. He's
See,
like, you
and
can tell
that's-
these people are racist.
Yeah, see, that was good too. Like, I enjoyed seeing the stigma, because I love, the reason I watch horror movies is like for the social underpinnings. I almost just wish more was done with it, because again, you get the second act, which is like my favorite part, and the third act is even better. So this movie crescendos, because the first, it kind of reminds me of watching like Cabin in the Woods, where you're like, yes, it starts like your generic horror movie, but then like really quickly it's like, whoa, this is actually a very deep and thoughtful movie. I thought this was a really good story after all the annoying characters are gone. So I enjoyed watching the protagonist. And
My favorite characters.
Yeah. Like
Your
my
favorite
characters are
characters?
left.
Yes, the guy that
Oh,
bashes the dude with the tree stump. Oh my gosh! And
Talk
leaves
about
his
an overreaction.
leaves his
Yeah.
girlfriend too to die.
Yeah, when he literally said, I'm not going to leave you, and then he literally leaves her like a second later or something like that. That really annoyed me. He's like, I'm never going to leave you, and then he's literally running away like the second later.
Oh,
And
He cracks me up.
A little hypocrisy there. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, I'm not one to comment on the whole series, but this was a good entry. I felt like I enjoyed it. I enjoy a movie that takes my expectations and subverts them. So it starts like your generic horror movie, and then it has a pleasant second and third act. So I enjoyed it. I've only seen it once, but I'd probably watch it again. How about you, Jordan?
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I absolutely loved it because I love the first one. Don't care for 2 through 6, but I
Got a little stale.
but This one, I love that they took a different direction with it. I don't know why they keep trying to remake M. Night Shyamalan twists, like it kind of cracks me up, like Bird Box doing the whole Happening and then this movie doing the whole Village. And I was going to tell you, Ty, when I was recommending this movie, I'm like, oh, it's like got the Village twist, but I didn't want to spoil the twist. So,
Well, if the Village twist means like they're fake monsters, this movie
no,
doesn't
that wasn't
have
the twist. The twist
Village
was that the people weren't living back in the old days. It was a modern day, but they were hidden in the forest.
They weren't modern.
No,
Well, they weren't.
but I'm saying they were living in a modern world, but they were
Oh, that's true.
living kind of in the...
But the Village knows about the outside world. All these people
They
live
do.
on the outside. Yeah, what are you talking about?
Like that girl with the
But
bracelets.
you didn't know that. Like you said, there was the twist of learning that they were a cult. Like you didn't know that they were living in the middle of the city. I mean,
if you're talking about the Village, that's the twist, but it's not in this movie.
no, but this movie, when you
not
first
normal.
meet that village and they're
It's
just
similar
normal
to
people, like that, they're not cannibals. That's the big twist. Is that it's not like the other 6 films.
Oh, got it. So you're saying the twist was it's the opposite of the Village then. I'm so confused right now.
No, anyways.
I'm not sure where the village came into
Okay,
play here.
listen. The
Yeah,
village is about a bunch of people that live in a modern world, but they live archaic. Same thing. This group of people lives archaic.
They're like in a park.
Yeah,
Huh?
but
those people in the village lived like in a park.
that's not the twist though. It's just a
It
bunch
doesn't
of people
matter.
that
It's
live in
the
village.
opposite of the Village because it's like it shows the setting in the beginning, so you think it's back in the olden times, but you find out it's in modern. And then with
Anyways,
this movie,
what?
it's
I don't know what-
modern,
I-
and then you
I don't
see,
know
like,
what Greg
the
How
saying.
does this
people.
movie start?
We'll stop. We'll move on from this. I thought it was a good relation. Clearly, you guys don't think so. Anyways,
Wait, I think I get what you're saying because this movie, both of them have villages.
They do
you're
have
so
villages.
funny.
That is correct.
Anyways,
No, but hey, no, I'm serious because if you told me that, I would have been expecting a cult village. So I'm glad you
yeah,
didn't
that's
mention
exactly
that.
what I was trying to say.
This reminds me of The Ritual. It reminds me of.
Yeah.
It reminds me of.
I was
other
afraid to
Netflix
relate it to the
originals.
ritual because I like the ritual better, but I didn't know.
I do like The Ritual, and I think I do like it
Yeah.
better. It does a better job at exploring themes of loss. But anyway,
Yeah.
still a good movie.
Okay, good. I was pretty nervous. Anyways, and I
Yeah,
actually.
I'm sorry about the whole.
No, it's okay.
Your
the
connections
village
were
thing, yeah.
awesome, Jordan, by the way.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was very.
A plus.
You didn't
I was
spoil
very
it.
nervous that this because I watched it again and I didn't. I feel like I should have given it a little bit more time in between watches, or I should have watched it with somebody. But I had it playing in the background and it was like stressing me out because the music's like super intense, and I was like, and I couldn't focus, and I was just like, oh man, did I pick the wrong movie to do on the podcast? But because I want to do.
You done picked the wrong movie on the podcast.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I wanted to do some.
You picked the right
I want
one.
to do some like modern movies coming out because theaters have been, shut down for like ever. So I was like, when I saw this for the first time, I didn't know if I was just so excited that a movie had finally been released or if I was actually good. So I'm glad we came to the conclusion that it was good because it's fun. I love it.
Awesome. Let's go into two of our favorite things from this movie. Let's start with you, Grant.
Aw,
Just don't take all the nicks, Grant.
he will too, darn it.
I enjoyed how like insane the kills in the movie are. Like I love at the end when the girl just starts stabbing the guy.
Yeah.
And like 2 minutes later, the father comes around the corner and she's still stabbing him. and then I love. I thought it was cool at the end of the movie when, like the whole like. Well, you find out that she just like envisioned like what could happen if she attacked the guy, and her whole family ends up getting killed, and so like. And then like it cuts back.
It's not that serious. You know.
Yeah.
Just her stepfamily.
And then it cuts back, and then like you're like, oh, none of that's happened yet. Like I thought that was really clever. I really enjoyed that.
While we're talking about it, my favorite quote from this movie, just he looks up and he goes, "Congratulations, Grandma." Why is that the best line of this whole movie?
Wait, when was that?
Yeah.
Well,
The
the
end.
freaking cult guy shows up at her and he's like, "You're carrying my child. You gonna come back with me?" And then he goes,
Like,
and then she like looks
"Congratulations,
over to the stepmother and goes, "Congratulations, Grandma." You don't remember? That's the best line of the whole.
Yeah,
fucking
but I
movie.
didn't think much of it. I don't know.
That's the best line, dude. Like it's spiteful and so evil. Like he shows up to her home after she thinks she's safe from this cult, and who knows how much longer it's been since she's been home. And then they just show up in their house, like chilling there with clothes, regular clothes and everything. And you're like, oh brother, Love it, Grant. Sorry to hijack your thought. I just thought
Oh,
of that
you're good.
quote, though. Congratulations, Grandma.
Yeah.
What a good villain. He was great.
And I liked when the gay guy died. His like head was just smashed. It was funny
Okay,
because
what was his
I
death?
was more happy because I called it. Like me and Cameron
What
were
was his
talking.
death? What was his
He got
death?
It was the log
Completely
rolling down the hill.
Can't
And
call him
then
by name or anything like
Oh,
that.
the
You remember his
log
name?
got smashed? Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I was kind of upset by that. I'm like, don't you just have to duck behind a tree and you're
Yeah,
safe?
Oh, I know.
Or-
yeah,
well,
they're
any
so
tree.
stupid. You run.
Let's get
run
into that.
perpendicular.
Left or right of the
Yes.
log?
Let's get it right. That's a nitpick.
That's my nitpick.
Why did nobody run? That was mine. First.
Oh, dang it.
I love that. Right? Yeah. Why don't you run?
Yeah,
to the left
Like
or
they all
right?
seem like intelligent people, and no one
I
thought to
know.
run 6 steps to the left or right. What's run down a
Or
narrow
duck
hill.
behind any tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Like all you had to do was just hug a tree and swing around it and hold tight to it.
No one thought that.
Anyway,
No,
that's just me.
I totally thought that, Ty. Are you kidding me? That was my huge nitpick. I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, and let's be real. Like, I don't think a tree would have rolled that far because it's like there's trees everywhere. I guess
Yeah.
there was a little clearing. But
Well,
anyway,
no,
I,
and-
It was smashing them down.
yeah, but it,
I like the traps. The traps were better. I didn't need this
Yeah.
big giant log prop. I just think like you know, would have been better. You know, like that like a swinging log comes down and hits his head against a
Oh,
tree. I think
that
that would have
would've
been
been
just
good,
as
too.
Like, yeah,
intense.
it had zero
and it would have
reaction
been a
time, yeah.
trap.
well, no, but the reason they
Yeah,
needed the
yeah.
tree to just kind of roll freely is because I think are we to understand that they
There are
didn't.
people out there. Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah,
maybe the tree just fell down and rolled
That's
on
what I-
by itself. It's like who
They
the
did
frick
it.
would think that rolled on by itself?
I know.
though?
They did it.
That is
They
my-
did
I-
it.
But I do like what you're saying, Jordan. They are trying to dispel like maybe this just happened because like
Well,
they weren't freaking out at that point, other than like, oh my gosh, he just died.
Yeah,
but we don't.
and
know
why
if,
did they
like-
not mention that in the freaking trial? Like, you guys killed one of our people. Like, I did not understand that. Like,
Yeah, they did. They're like
Yeah.
The
"You
trial was
pushed
not
the log
fair.
down."
yeah,
yeah.
it was
trial
not
was
fair at all.
terribly unfair.
But why didn't they say that?
Were we to understand that?
Do they own
set off
that
a trap,
land?
though? Yeah,
Trespassing
slow down.
on
Did
whose
they actually
property?
push the log, or was that a trap that got set off? Because I'm trying to think real hard now. Did they set off a tripwire that sent the log their way or not?
No.
No,
They didn't. So
No.
So they were the ones that at fault first. They're the ones that killed
Yeah.
him. So
and then the guy
his reaction-
are we to think? And then she didn't say, "Oh, and you killed our other friend in the pit." Like, why didn't they mention that? Like, he shot an
Well,
arrow.
no,
in
no,
her.
that didn't happen yet. That didn't happen yet though, because he was dragged away into a pit,
No,
but then they saw him
I'm
carried
talking about his girlfriend,
down the hill.
that psychopath's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Remember, she fell in
When
the
she was
pit,
with the spikes.
But no one
and
saw
then the
that.
guy came up and shot her with an arrow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but they didn't see that because remember he
Oh,
only
he just-
saw her in the
'Cause he
pit,
ran
and
away.
they assumed it was an animal trap that she fell into. So technically, they still hadn't done anything. But we, as an audience member, saw him shoot her in the head. But you're like, that could have been a merciful thing. She had a fetching log.
That's
sticking
what I
through
thought.
her
He did it
freaking-
as a mercy.
Well,
kill,
neither
but-
way.
stomach.
Either way.
Right. But either way, it's horrifying. But again, our characters didn't see that happen. So,
You all right?
Well,
but I like what you said. It's like, okay, that log was pushed on us, right? That would have been a good defense. But it's like, no, it was just a trap that you set off too. So again, I would have appreciated if it was an actual log trap that smashed his head in. Because again, it's like, oh, these are all just for animals. Like we're totally blameless in all this. I love that.
I
You
know.
know, but
You know
but
what?
it's like they pushed this giant fetching log down the hill after them. It's like, I get it. It's like the big moment, right? Like, whoa.
well, what's the better question is, do they even own that land? Like, do they just like
Yeah,
decide to
got
move up there and
tax
nobody
evading.
even
Yeah.
knows? Like,
Yeah, that-
and then
that
like,
was
there's
my-
no records. No one ever.
Too many people in that village
Yeah.
for tax evasion.
I
And
was-
all
Yeah,
that. IRS
yeah.
and the county sheriff, they'd all be up on that hill.
That's what I was
Right.
wondering. Like,
Like,
why?
There's a whole village up. You're not a registered service or something like that. What's going on here?
You have to educate those kids. You have to put
You
them in
can't be
school.
putting
Yeah, you have
traps in
kids.
this property. That's the first problem right there.
Yeah,
Destruction
poaching,
of
illegal
private,
hunting,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I was wondering too. Is why?
But Nick, many go up there and no one returns.
Right.
That's all you need to know about it.
Well,
yeah.
and I didn't understand if the whole town like hates these people. Like, yeah, why wouldn't they report these people? Like,
No, the guy doesn't want. Remember what she said? The sheriff doesn't want to do anything. If he's got to report all these people, then he can't go
but
fishing.
can't they reach out to somebody else if your sheriff isn't doing anything? I don't know.
Well, he's just like, no, they moved on. They're like, hooking in, Florida Beach or
Well,
something.
the problem is too. I think the most of the problems that they've run into is like, okay, so what do you explain? You say, well, someone got trapped in a hunting thing. It's like, well, it's an accident, right? Because like all the deaths that we saw, they appeared to be accidents of animal trapping. Now you could argue like, oh, there's illegal poaching, and it's like, do you have proof of this? Like, I don't know. It's a headache, but yeah, you'd think like after a while they would have been sick of it. So instead of, I don't know, getting more help, it's like, let's just do some sweet vigilante justice, get up the side of that mountain. Anyway, we hijacked Grant's
I know,
thoughts. So
sorry,
Grant, did you have
'cause-
anything else you wanted to say? Yeah, we just got right into it. Anything else you loved?
No, just the deaths and then the end scene.
Well, okay.
Yeah, I will say, I loved, so mine was the twist, but I don't know if you could call it a twist, because I don't really like it necessarily when they have an ending where it's like, well, this is what we want to have happen, like it's super shocking, and then they're like, oh, it just happened in my mind. But what I loved about that is because after the credits rolled initially, I was super pissed off. I was like,
Yeah, same.
that's not an ending. And I was like, okay, so there better be a sequel, and I guess I'll have to tune into that. But then as the end credits roll, there's like this whole sequence, and if you guys didn't stick around
I was so
until
nervous
then,
you guys wouldn't.
all see it?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did.
you guys
Yeah.
all see it? I had to because I was
did.
like, there's no way
That's why I didn't
it,
want it to
because-
end.
Yeah, see, I didn't want it to end either. I was super pissed when I first
There's more
saw
to
the
it
credits
now.
for Wrong Turn, and I was like, that's not an ending. I was like, what the freak just happened? Like, I have to know so much more. And then there's this amazing end credit scene that's probably one of my favorite end credit scenes I've seen in a long time. Like, as far as ending your movie, I was like, well, that's how you end a
Yes.
movie. Holy cow. And it changes everything.
What
And
if somebody in the
so-
theater
so that was
walked out all pissed? He's like, stupid ending. They took her away and just like left the theater angry.
Yeah, so I liked the ending. That was one of my favorite things. And then my second is I enjoy being surprised, but I also like callbacks. So I think this movie did a pretty good job with some of the callbacks, like darkness. What does that mean? It means you're going to become a zombie. I guess you're going to be a blind zombie in this cave. So that was pretty freaky, and I liked that. So that was good.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my two favorite things. I really like really scary things, and I love callbacks, and this movie had a few of those, so it was really good.
Nick, you can go. You should have gone first, Nick.
Nick, how
we're
about
taking
you?
them all.
Yeah, sorry.
No. You know what I liked? Kind of going back towards the ending. That the main character was named Jennifer. Okay, so throughout the whole movie, you can tell she's a smart girl, but in no time up until the end did I get any thought that she was like some ninja chick. Okay, you didn't see that, and then towards the end of the movie, it's been 6 weeks. They trained her that well.
Yeah,
and
that's
what
what
are
I
these people
wondered.
doing over
She's
there?
like
Yeah.
Betsy
And
John
she
Wick.
took down like 6 or 7 of them, throwing knives precisely, making this
was
sweet
so
sound.
good.
That
Just
guy was
throwing
running
a
right at the end, just stabbing him. I'm like, what the heck happened? So I love that. And then watching it for the second time when when her and Darius are laying in the bed. And you had to watch the second time
Yes.
because after the
I didn't
first time
catch this either.
you didn't remember the first. He's describing this world he wants to live in where everybody pulls their weight, everybody does. I'm like, oh my God, that's exactly what those people
Yep.
were.
And that's
Yeah,
why
I
he
was
didn't
like, that
leave.
kinda
Because the
stuck
first
out.
time I'm like, why isn't
Yeah.
he leaving these psychopaths?
Right.
Yeah.
It didn't click the first. Like, why is he not leaving? This is crazy. This is
I'm
what he
really
wants
glad
to
you
do.
mentioned that because
Yeah.
I just got that for the boyfriend because one of my nitpicks was like, why on earth did he stay
Yes.
with him? Because no, what he says, no, because again, it would almost have been nice if he had mentioned it, but you're right because you're now explaining it to me because he says, I feel like they see me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is coming out of nowhere. I'm like, I didn't get his reasoning, but now that you mention it, I remembered that scene earlier and he literally describes the people.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that
you know what's
actually
funny?
helps clear it up because again, what he says to her made no sense.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they see me. He should have been like, I found my people or something. Like, I had no idea what he meant by that. It's like, and then I started thinking, like, did he have something with the eyes? Like, I was like thinking back to the earlier of the movie. I'm like, what did he say about being seen?
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, it's super funny
Thank you for
because-
clearing that up.
Yeah.
Nick.
Thanks for
me and
pointing that out.
Cameron, were talking to our roommate during that scene when he was talking about that earlier, and then at the end of the scene, we hadn't really heard anything that was said, and I looked at Cameron, I was like, should we go back? Do you think it's relevant to the plot? He's like, probably not. And so we completely skipped that scene, not knowing that that was the whole reason he stayed. I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny.
That's so funny. Well, and again, like I said, in that scene, he just tells her, he's like, I feel like they see me. And I was like, what?
I
the
love that Grant
freak?
does
Like,
this
I
on
don't
all the
get it.
movies.
Yeah.
He's always like, they said something. I don't know if it was important to the plot.
Great. Just for 1 second, imagine a world where you have a movie director that intentionally put every second of film in the movie for a reason. Just try to wrap your head around that concept. Just try it out. And
so
let
just
me know how
Fateful
movie
Findings,
going experiences
there's a
go
reason
you.
for everything in there, right?
Oh, Fateful Findings. He got you
Hey,
good.
Neil
Si, he
Breen.
got you good.
See,
Actor,
when you
director,
recommend movies like
actor,
that, I'm
director,
just like,
and
I don't know if
producer of a
everything
generation.
is
Neil
worth it,
Breen.
so.
I cannot believe you did this. I cannot believe you committed suicide. I cannot believe this. How could you have committed suicide? Jordan, how about you, man?
Oh, well, I love horror movies of all kinds. I am a huge lover of slasher flicks, so I totally thought, like, I was just excited to see this because I thought it was just going to be like the old ones, which I enjoy watching, even though, they're not that great. Like, you check the ratings on them, not great. But I can watch any and all slasher flicks. So, and then when they kind of took a fun new twist to it, I just absolutely love it. So I'd say, yeah, I just love the deaths, like Grant said. Very fun to see. I love the costume design because, like we talked on the Frogging One ICU, just that mask. I love they have those like skull masks and just like everything they wear. They look so cool. Like I cannot get enough just looking at how rad they look. I think the production design is amazing and the deaths are great. So those are my two favorite things.
That's great.
Beautiful.
So let's say any picking.
Yes, okay.
nits
I
or
have so many
nitpicking,
questions.
so-
Okay, wait. I just have to ask first.
Let's hear it.
So are we to believe that, like Nick said, she turned into this crazy person? Like, so when she saw her gay friend, like, with his eyes burnt out, and when she saw him, did she think, I'm being merciful? Or was she just, like, bloodthirsty hungry to just shoot him and not even, like, ask him, hey, would you like to go home? Like...
Well, they couldn't take her. They couldn't take him.
Oh, really?
They couldn't. They had to. What are they going to do with him? He's blind. Are they going to drag him?
Hold his hand and be like, follow me.
Hold his
No,
hand.
no. They
you
got into the
home.
fights and dead weight. They all three would have died.
See, Nick,
Well, I was also.
Nick, if I was blind, I would
confused
want you
too
to
as-
take me home to
I
my
don't-
family.
I don't know about shooting him, but I would be like, I don't know if I could do that, but I wouldn't take him with. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh,
I,
she'd
well, I
leave me
had some
behind.
thoughts too.
She's
Okay,
a smart girl.
so-
She knows that that's not going to work out right.
I have two thoughts about that too, where it's like, how quickly did they turn to cannibalism? If he had been in there for weeks, I guess they were already starting to eat people, but they were like almost like zombies.
Yeah.
That was
right?
really
like, the first
scary. I'm
person
like, how are
they
these people
found
still
laying down,
alive?
they're just tearing out his throat. I'm like, "Jeez." Just wandering around, smelling for flesh, eating
That's
people.
so
But
gross.
it's like, how many of them in that cave actually kill each
terrifying.
other? I guess once you're, it's horrifying.
Absolutely. That's why it was the
that's
only way out.
Yeah,
The worst
I
possible
enjoyed
way to
that
go.
too. Yes, because I actually thought that maybe the girl was gonna do a betrayal because she's like, oh, I know the way, and it's like, come.
Oh,
follow me.
I thought
Like,
that too.
oh, no.
I'm like, she's just gonna lock him in there.
But I enjoyed it because
Yeah.
it was a callback to the darkness because you're like, what did happen to the gay guy with the gouged out eyes? Like, you never know what happens to him, and then you're like, oh, like he's in this terrifying hellhole where they just all cannibalize each other, whoever dies or whatever, and. But I guess, like, to me, it's
Very
like, how
awful.
long, would they stay there? I don't really know because they're all blinded, right? So a lot of these people did, well, I don't know what all the other people there did. I'm assuming some of them trespassed. I'm assuming some of them tried to betray.
It was probably all trespassing. And how did none of them get out to the other end?
Yeah,
that's
that
what
was
I
the thing, too.
understand.
Well, at the very end, there is kind of a cliff ledge. So I almost
Yeah. So
expected,
you would
like,
assume that they would all have walked off there.
a lot of dead people would be there, yeah. Because it's like, how long would they be willing to hang around? Like, I guess if you're...
I would know.
But that's the thing. It's like if you're deaf, I was also confused why more of them weren't talking. I almost felt like they would have another society.
why
like,
weren't
no
they
one said
talking?
anything. Yeah.
Instead, they were like,
They weren't deaf.
that one
me.
guy was like,
Well, yeah. So you could argue, but you could argue like they're afraid to speak out because if they start drawing more attention, more people are going to come and eat them, right? But then again, that's why I was
I thought that
confused when she
too. I
fired the
wondered that.
gunshot. When she fired the gunshot, I'm like, oh, they're all going to be like swarming them.
Yeah.
But that never happened either.
No,
So
that's
again,
a scary sound to them. They don't want that.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, well, someone has a gun, so I guess I'll ignore that. But again, it's like, I'm just, like I said, playing the rules. It's like when you first get there and he was like, I don't know where I am. You get put into this dark place. I mean, you don't even know you're in a dark place, mind you.
Right.
They're all blind. So it's like, why wouldn't you be speaking out or like, hello, can anyone hear me? And like, you're not bound. So you're like, I'm in a room, I'm somewhere, right? Anyway, a lot of questions there. But again, you have a whole, it almost reminds me of The Walking Dead where you have like a whole moat of just the zombies in your fortress, That's kind of reminded me of like all these blind people, like ready to cannibalize somebody that,
That's probably why they didn't
stumbles in
speak.
their
They
room.
probably just heard like munching sounds and like.
Oh, very scary.
Oh, it's horrifying.
Marco
So, yeah,
Polo.
it was really scary. That was a good twist. Like I haven't seen blind cannibals. Like I haven't seen that for a long time. So there was definitely cannibalism there.
It was definitely the freakiest part in the movie.
Yeah, one thing I was almost gonna refer, but I don't know if it's necessarily a nitpick, but like I did enjoy the villagers coming back at the end, but it did just seem a little strange that it was like this is the first time where they were finally willing to do something. I'm not sure what the dad did other than okay, to be fair, we did know that he had liver disease or whatever, Like I thought
Yeah,
that
that
was
was
the
so
funniest
weird.
callback because that one kind of annoyed me. But I was like, because they were making fun of him at the beginning, they were so annoying. I freaking hated
Oh my
those
gosh,
kids at the
yeah.
bar, like dissing on this guy, and I was like, I hope he does fight one of them.
Yeah.
Like, and instead they beat the shiz out of the father.
Yeah, why
which
did
made
they
no
kick
sense
the
to me.
crap
They're
out
like,
of him?
but they were like when he comes and he's like into town, and then they beat the tar out of him.
He
and,
didn't
like, they
do
were trying to send a
anything.
message.
Like the kids were
He didn't
making
do
fun
anything.
of
Well,
him.
he
like,
said he
Willie
was trying to
Brisket-
help him. He was like, they wanted him to
Yeah,
leave.
they wanted to scare him off because they're like, you're going to go die if you go find your daughter. But
yeah.
again, it's like, why not just threaten him that way? Like, he's a pretty reasonable person, but even if he decided to
What
go
are you
up the
gonna? What else
mountain,
are you
it's
gonna
like,
tell him?
That's
Yeah,
true.
you
Yeah.
can't go there. There's a village of terrible
And
people.
he did tell him, he's
Right,
like, I'm
That's
looking for
gonna
my
make him
daughter.
definitely want to go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
But
might be
if they
alive.
really hated the villagers, he would have been willing to be like, yeah, you can go get some feds. Like, if you can actually get someone to come out here. We've done this many times before, and no one comes.
I don't think they want the feds there ripping the town apart.
Oh yeah, I know, right? Tearing over all the fortresses and
It's all a
freeing
conspiracy,
liberating all
dude.
those
It's-
cannibals.
it's a
And then all the
conspiracy.
cannibals just attack the
They
policemen.
protect them. The people of the town protect those crazies.
Yeah, they really do.
That's
They
why it
shelter them.
works.
They hide them. You know, they
Exactly.
don't-
That's why it works. The sheriff. Nope, I want to go
Well,
fishing.
I was kind of hoping that they had a mutual a benefit where they would like hunt food or something, right? Like help them.
and trade.
But they don't really. Yeah,
They
don't
just
really
leave them
help
alone.
them. They
No,
just leave them alone.
them
I kind of
alone.
wish
No,
there
but
was
the
a little
little-
bit more
remember-
like the sheriff. I almost wish the sheriff would have been there at the village, and he was like the one guy that goes between.
No,
the
but
village
Ty, did you
and
see
that.
the little
I would've
tiny
enjoyed
girl and the other girl that talks English? She was at the city, so I'm sure she brings back stuff. Remember, she was there.
that. That's true. She does like sell stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she
Little
sells
bracelets
stuff
and
at
stuff,
the trip.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, what does she do? Like, is that some great benefit to the the tourist? I guess. Yeah.
no,
It's like,
no, I think they're scouting.
see, that's what I think too. I think they
Oh.
scout people.
They're scouting.
and they try to, but it's like, are
Little
they?
girl
are
is
they?
harmless.
Yeah, are they encouraging them to go up the mountain? I guess they're just there to like let people know.
They're
like,
just watching.
yeah, just watching, seeing who's
like,
coming up, and then
ooh.
they're like, yeah, that's actually Nick. I really like that because I was like, it doesn't seem that they actually benefit from selling bracelets. Like, it's not like they can use currency up on the mountain. So it's
Oh,
like
I
that's a
didn't think
really
about
good.
that, yeah.
Yeah, so they're scouting people, and they're like, they're just like, hey, there's this many people coming, so set all the traps, and they know what traps to set.
Right. Well,
and
they
how
were
the traps
watching from the
are.
very beginning. Right when they were coming in, they were
Yep.
watching them. So they're watching people, and they're just like, what's going on?
I like that. Man, all these like nitpicks or whatever, they're like fleshing out some more
Well,
of the things that I liked about
and
it.
she, dude, the main girl totally reminds me of the guy from Wolf of Snow Hollow when he said, "Shoot him till you see the floor." When she's stabbing that guy, and the father comes up to her,
Yikes.
like. I thought he was going to shoot her thinking she was like a psychopath because she was just like stabbing him until you could see like the ground. She was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Gosh.
He's probably like, nice work, Proud
Well,
of her. One
I
thing
was-
my nitpick was that the main girl, Jen, didn't get a chance to fight the evil girl that told her to spread her legs.
Yeah.
They didn't have the showdown. The dad shot her in the face, but I almost wish it was the girl because they kind of clashed because at the beginning
Well,
they
they
were
did
friends.
have a fight and they fell
then
into the
were very
pit and we
quickly
thought
enemies.
she was dead.
Oh, that's a good point too. But even then, I still kind of wish she was the one to finish her. But I guess they needed like an extra scare, and that's fine. But like I said, I like when I watched that movie Crawl with the alligators. My biggest gripe was that the final alligator wasn't killed by I'm spoiling another movie on the podcast. The final alligator gets killed by a Deus Ex Machina, and I'm like, I would have preferred her to be
Yeah.
like. There was a great scene where the alligator bites her, and her hand is inside and shoots it through the head. That was a great scene. I'm like, that should have been the final alligator.
I don't know, guys. It was kind of a surprise. Just. Well, I had to rewind it. I'm like, is that the chick?
I know. I thought he shot his
her
daughter.
face
I
off?
panicked. I was like, oh
I know.
my
I was
gosh.
like, what just happened? So
Right,
it's like a boom spark. Like what?
Yeah, and like I said, it was fine. I just you could have had another villager show up or something, right? I like the dynamic
good
between
point.
these two girls
They could
because
have, yeah.
because I actually thought that maybe she was jealous of her
Yeah.
because when she's like, "Oh, find a wife," I was like, "Oh, maybe this the leader of the cult, maybe he's got like multiple wives."
That's what I wondered, too.
And she's like the one that vets new wives coming in and stuff, but it's like. But then you find out he's like, no, he might be monogamous, but his previous wife died. I don't remember if we know how she died.
said-
Wasn't that his daughter though?
I thought he said she died. My wife died of like sickness or something.
Childbirth, sickness, yeah, who knows? But anyway, he's not a very redeemable
Did-
character. So that
and did you-
not one of my nitpicks, but I really liked the villain. I think he was really great. The cult
Yeah,
leader, he
I
was
liked
awesome.
him.
His accent threw me
he was a
off.
good guy
though.
to hate.
I didn't like it. He spoke really weird.
You didn't like his what? His
His
accent?
accent. It was
Well, I liked it that the idea that he spoke. Yeah, like who knows where this guy came from, but like this has been his calling. He's like this crazy cult leader. I love it. I think that's funny that annoyed you, Grant.
Yeah. I don't know.
We haven't even mentioned the plot of this movie. So for people that haven't watched it, it just says friends hiking in the Appalachian Trail are confronted by the Foundation, a community of people who have lived in the mountains for hundreds of years. Well, there you go.
I didn't read the
Now
description.
you know
that would have
everything
given it
that you
away.
need to. I know, it would have given
That gives it away. That's too much.
But it doesn't give you a lot. So to its credit, like the movie does get better as it goes on. That's one of my nitpicks is the first act. I almost wish they could have done something more to like get my attention because at first I was like, great, another group of 6 people that I absolutely hate and I'm waiting for them to die.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sure enough, most of them died in the first act. And I was like, how are they going to make this interesting? And then the second and third act rolled around. I'm like, oh, I like this movie much better. So anyway, kind of like suffers like the Cabin in the Woods suffer, but no, Cabin in the Woods, to their
Gives
credit,
a
they
little
had an
nuggets.
amazing sequence at the beginning with the guys driving around the golf carts in that institution. So yes, that is actually much better. So I don't give Cabin in the Woods enough credit, but a lot of dumb people watch it and they're like, oh, well, it's just like any other scary movie. It's like, no, but you keep watching and it gets better. But this one almost didn't have enough to cling on to where it's like, yeah, okay, one nitpick is that hillbilly guy with the liver problems, isn't he the
Same
same
guy from
hillbilly
Cabin in the
in
Woods?
Cabin
Yep.
in the Woods? Yes, it was him. He was the guy on the phone that takes his job all seriously, right?
He's the
I love
perfect
that.
character for those.
I know he's the creepiest hillbilly guy. He's like been typecast.
Wait,
Can you
is he
imagine
the
him
guy
being
at the
romantic
gas
lead in a
station?
movie?
Yeah, the gas station.
No way.
Yeah, he's the guy.
He calls the girl a whore.
Wouldn't it be so great to see him like as a romantic lead in a chick flick or
Yeah,
something like that?
no.
A romantic comedy?
No, that would work.
He's got his yellow pussy eyes. He's just like a hillbilly, like he's all romantic and
It'd be a
everything.
gross love movie. I
That'd
want
be
to watch
such
it.
a great comedy. Like she
It'd be
goes
like
to
a
a small
hillbilly love
town.
movie.
A hillbilly love movie. I'd love it. We should
It's
we
just
should
a comedy.
make that.
It's not dramatic,
Starring
yeah.
our boy Tom Desarn, I guess is his name, right? You would have been great.
Jeez.
Poor
Who's gonna
guy
play
who's
Who's gonna do the
detective.
female cast? Who's the female role?
What's the who? Yeah,
Jennifer
like this
Aniston?
drop dead gorgeous. Yeah, drop
Okay,
dead
Jennifer
gorgeous.
Aniston. She'll do it. She'll do it. Him and Jennifer Aniston, I can see is perfect. Perfect.
That's hilarious. Wouldn't that be a great romantic comedy? I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So any
get
other
tickets.
nitpicks? What else do you guys have for nitpicks?
You guys answered most of them, so.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's the thing. Like some of them, like, is it practical? No, but I still enjoyed it. Like I said, like how. And you're right, Jordan. Actually, one of my nitpicks was like, it was a merciful kill. That's how I interpreted it. Because again, the one guy shoots one of their own when it's trapped.
Well, at
and
least
then
ask
she
him,
shot-
do you want to go home?
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess she saw how pathetic he was, and she's like, F you!
I'm just like, no, she doesn't say
I
F
know,
you.
I'm joking,
One
I'm
thing that bothered me too was the it was a little weird when she goes to her is it Darius? What's her boyfriend?
Darius, yeah.
The black guy, right? And she's
Darius.
like, we're gonna leave now, and he goes, why now? And she's like, well, my dad's here, and they're gonna kill him. And I'm like, would she have just waited around for her dad to come in order to betray the colony, or
Maybe
was
she was
she
waiting
actually
for the right
willing to
moment.
live there? Or was she always plotting to leave? Like, I didn't know if her plan was always to leave from the beginning, or did she actually like her home there? I don't know. There wasn't enough hints there that I
She
guess
didn't
she
like
never
it.
wanted. She didn't like it, but was she just waiting
wanted
for
to
her
stay
dad to
alive.
find her?
Just waiting
But
for
that's what I'm
someone to
saying,
find
Nick.
her.
Like, she only decided to escape the night where her dad appeared. But it's like, what if your dad never came? Were you just
She was
gonna
just
always-
straying long enough till she knew she could take them all out, and she was really close.
Yeah, she's like, my dad's here. No, we can take this cult down.
Yep. She's just waiting for the right moment.
Waiting
She
for the
took
right
them all down. She could have taken the whole village
Oh,
down.
one last thing. I almost wish that Darius would have given them away. Like, started yelling. Like, I thought that would have been a great moment where, like, Darius is like, I'm going to stay here. And then he just goes, ah! Like, starts screaming and wakes up everybody, sounds the alarm. I thought that would have been a really
he should have
fun
been like,
moment
he's like,
of intensity.
I'm seen here, and I should stay here, and so should you.
Yeah.
Cheap.
And then she like stabs him or pokes him or whatever, silences him, right? That would have been kind of a fun, just one extra death. I think that would have been just fine. But instead they're like, no, let him have his people. But it's like, so does he become the next leader now? Because the cult leader ends up getting killed. Anyway, so many questions. That was just a nitpick. I was like, I almost would have enjoyed it because I already didn't understand his reason for staying. So let alone, I thought it would have been great. Him been like, you can't leave because you're going to try to threaten this group of people. See, that's what I thought they were going to lead to. He's like, I found my people. And she's already off sleeping with the cult leader. So he's fine with that. He doesn't care. Like, I thought he was like super bitter and jealous. So like 6 weeks after the fact, he's like, yeah, we used to sleep together. Now she sleeps with the cult leader. I'm totally fine with that. Now I'm already over it because I found some bros that we all drink alcohol together. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, you're already over your relationship with your girlfriend of, I don't know, several months, years.
Well, he
who
wants to
knows?
live. He wants to live.
He wants to live.
He
what,
wants to
though?
live. Just live, not die. He doesn't want to end up in the darkness. I would do anything but end up in the darkness.
I would
To
do
be fair,
anything.
yeah.
That's a pretty horrible place to be. So, you gotta be okay
Dude,
with the
one of the
cult
nicest
leader
acts
doing
of
your
the
girl.
entire movie when she just owned the gay guy, where she just like shot him right in the head. I was like, dude, that is some pure like that's tough love right there. Being nice enough to
That's
just
what I'm
merge
saying.
his misery.
Extended.
Well, that too, but they couldn't take him. That was guess what you guys are overthinking this. It was bad.
Nick,
They
Nick
could
was
not
like,
take
oh, he
him.
wouldn't take him.
Dude,
And I was like, maybe he could have been
his-
like,
They barely
his
made it out
eyes-
with the two of them.
His eyes were holes.
Cameron, thanks for sharing because we went through that already. But was it merciful? Was it not? Yeah, he had holes in his eyes. Man, they put those pokers in pretty far. Pretty scary.
It was logic.
Yeah, it's pretty horrifying
100%
stuff.
Wait,
logic.
the only other thing I had a question about was when, do you think it was a good call for her to be like, when the guy gets pulled into the ground and then he's like, we need to go looking for him. And she's like, well, how long? Are we going to spend an hour, a day?
Yeah, she was like, give up on him already. Like, he got sucked under the hole. He could have been just laying right
Yeah.
there, knocked out. But instead of, like, I don't know, looking down to the hole, because the trap already went off. I don't know why she wasn't willing to, like, I don't know, creep down in there and peer
Yeah,
in with
she
the
was just
flashlight.
like, no,
She was
let's
like, let's get out of here. How long are we going to wait? I was like, what? She's like, leave him. It's like, why are you leaving him? Maybe because she was like,
She's
he's
logical.
gay.
No, it's not because he was gay. It's just logic.
Oh, it was her boyfriend, wasn't it? Or who
No,
was
It
it?
was
the
the fiance
douchebag
guy.
The one,
It was the
Oh, it was the douchebag with the boyfriend.
wasn't a
Mind you,
douchebag.
his quote was like, "I'm not leaving ever again." He says, and then like 5 seconds later,
Yeah.
he goes, "We gotta get out of here. I
No,
gotta leave."
I love it.
And he
I love it
runs
when
away.
she's like, he said he's never gonna leave her ever again. And she's like on the spikes, and she's like, "Don't leave me!"
and he literally
Wow.
leaves her. Yeah, pretty scary.
again logic. He couldn't do anything
Yeah,
for
I
her.
mean, he couldn't-
And there was someone coming after. They both would have gotten bowed. All of these scenes come down to these people actually being intelligent and looking at
No,
this like it's life over death, and I
You
can't
know what
take
he should have
you.
done? What I
Yeah,
would have done is I would have like pretended that I ran away from her and then waited for the guy to come out to like pick up
Oh.
his prey, and then I would have pushed him in on
him
top of
in,
her.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're banking on the fact that he won't see you approaching
Yeah,
up
good
the
point.
trap.
Or that there's not
yeah.
others.
Better just to
Yeah.
get far away. Yeah. yeah.
Because if there's more
So,
than
Cameron,
one,
yeah.
you're screwed. You run and push
Right,
him,
right,
and they all
right.
shoot you.
So real quick, I just want to get to the ending. Do you guys care for the whole bait and switch where like she fights him, he ends up killing? I actually enjoyed that shock. Like I wasn't expecting it, but then like the whole like she just envisioned it. It was fine because they did make up for it after the end credits sequence. So maybe it was like, hey, there's two amazing endings here. I just don't like to be cheapened like that. But then again, because like nothing in the movie ever showed us having this flashback vision. But again, I love that line where he tells the stepmother, like, congratulations, grandma. That's such an amazing line where he, like, delivers this truth bomb right in the middle. Like, he's there pretending he's, like, a neighbor now. I don't know. I thought it was great. Like, I enjoyed all of that. But
Am I the only one that thinks she should have murdered that little girl? Maybe I'm just terrible, but I wanted to murder that little girl, dude.
I was scared that the girl was going to, like,
Ruthie-
attack her at the
Ruthie or
very end.
whatever?
Yeah,
Dude,
at the very
yeah,
end, I
as
thought she
soon
was
as
going
she
to, like,
comes
go up
out,
and, like,
bro, I'm
grab her
going,
or slit her throat.
I'm not
No,
taking
but
any
she was pretty
chances.
innocent. I even liked it when
She
she
was
asked her, he
innocent.
goes, do you want to leave? And she's like, yes. Like,
Nah,
that was
dude.
all you needed to know.
I don't trust that little girl.
She was innocent. She didn't do
Cameron
that.
would have been the guy that bashed their brains in, and then they'd be like, same death for Cameron.
Yeah. Oh, mind you. Yeah. Like, okay. I don't know if it was her overreaction. I guess if someone was tied up and being carried.
Yeah, if they were carrying me on like
Yeah.
a pig, I mean, like, essentially, like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
where they would cook
No doubt.
you.
That was no doubt they were
Yeah,
taking.
they were acting like they were
I
carrying
just
him
don't
off in
know
a
if I would.
gurney,
I don't know if
they're like,
I'd
"Oh, we have
bash
him in a
their brains in. I
stretcher."
really don't know. I don't know. Like, would my reaction, like, maybe try to like tie them up or something? I don't know. Like, incapacitate them. But the idea, it's like I'm just gonna bash.
You
these
don't even
brains
know
in,
what they
like-
are yet. At
No,
that
but I'm just
point,
saying,
though.
like, if your idea that you're gonna get off this mountain and you're gonna be okay, how are you gonna explain yourself to the
I
cops?
don't know, the
Like,
level of
They were
paranoia,
carrying my
though.
friend, and I literally bashed his brains in. They
I
could've
think
been
we
like,
already
"We're carrying-"
established the cops don't care.
Right. But, no, but I'm saying like they're planning to return to normal life. So it's like if they found a dead person on the mountain, like
I
would
don't think
assume
you're
that there'd be an
thinking that,
investigation or
Ty.
something like
No.
Dude,
Ty,
in
and
the
also-
moment,
No,
you're
no,
like,
I'm just
no
saying-
investigations.
slow down.
No
Ty,
investigations.
Also, the
Guys,
paranoia,
stop
you
talking.
just-
Every single one of
you
you.
just saw
Stop talking.
someone
Stop talking.
head get smashed, and then people steal your
Yes,
phones,
by
and
a
you're
tree
seeing
lung.
people like in the shadows.
That's true.
And then
Yeah, they did steal their phone and a rolling log out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
And a
I get it.
giant
I'm just
chain
saying,
that
like,
gets snatched out
how
of
quick.
nowhere?
No. I don't buy an Instagrammer reverting to this. Does that make sense?
I don't know. Kids these days, dude.
I don't buy this
know.
prissy kid, this preppy kid that he's like, like, I'm hot shiz, and then he's like, I'm gonna kill
No,
this
but
guy
he
now. I just don't
thought
buy that
he
transition.
thought that they killed
like,
his girlfriend or his
Yeah,
fiance.
so
though.
self-defense.
Dude, and he's enraged because
More
he thought that they
revenge.
killed her. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
he thought
majority
that they
revenge.
killed
and then
his
she
fiance.
just appears all of a sudden. And she's fine. Like
I thought she was
get
in
it for
on
that
it,
twist.
dude, because she was like acting super weird afterwards. She was just like, "Oh, hey, I was hiding or whatever." And I'm like,
I know, that was weird.
I was waiting for the Get Out twist where it's like I bring people, I befriend groups of people. I would have loved a twist like that, Cameron. I was just saying that I wanted a cop or some liaison between the two groups, like between the world and the cult. Like I would have loved, like you said, Cameron, like. She would have been like, I've befriended all of you, and I brought you here, and it's like,
Welcome
it's
to
like
the
you were the new friend
foundation.
to the group.
Her head just twists.
yeah,
Like, what
she plants people's minds like, let's go on this amazing hike, like, and she just finds all these unsuspecting Instagrammers and influencers to go up the mountain. That'd be crazy. I almost love that additional thing, but again, the movie was already fine enough. But I just love thinking there's one other thing, right? Like. That was my favorite thing about Get Out was she like lures these African American gentlemen into her
and
home
they do
so they can use
do a
them
good
for-
job of that, like
Like,
holding
oh,
the
that's
tension
terrifying.
of that until the scene with the keys, where she's like, and she just changes her total like complexion and just like holds the keys. It's like, I can't.
We should be
do that.
reviewing Get Out for sure.
Oh, fuck.
So, Cameron, real quick, we've discussed this movie at length, but did you want to say two of your favorite things or nitpicks or anything real quick? Your thoughts about
definitely. I think one thing that this movie does really good is very similar, like kind of set up to Get Out. Like the first scene, I felt like they did a really good job of just keeping me on edge. For like the first 45 minutes, like every single thing that happened, you're like, wait, what the fudge? Like just happened. Like I had to go back a couple times because like I looked down for half a second, and, like the lightning struck, and then it showed like the silhouette, and I was like, oh fudge! I was like, wait, what just happened? And so like.
That was
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Creeping outside the tent.
That was great.
Yeah, and so there was just, I think they did a really good job of kind of just making everyone seem, it's like one of those movies where it's like, don't trust anybody. And I'm just like, and then my like craziness comes out, I'm like, don't trust anybody, they're all trying to kill you. It's like a beautiful mind. So I definitely loved that.
Wait, they all tried to kill Russell Crowe?
No, I just don't, everyone's in on it. It's a conspiracy. And so,
Shutter Island.
Yeah, Shutter Island. He's not actually crazy. I think my second,
Except he is crazy.
But he might be.
Yeah, he's definitely crazy. That's the whole point.
That's a whole nother discussion.
the second, my second favorite thing is, it lulls a little bit in the middle. I don't know how much I love the pacing.
What middle? Are you talking about when they're in the forest or when they meet the cult? 'Cause
Yeah, like
the second and third act I love.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like when they're in the cult, I don't know. I just felt like it was just a little. I don't know. I felt like the order was
The
out
whole
of
trial
whack.
thing was weird. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I almost feel like the trial shouldn't have been the first exposure, but I didn't mind it also just because it was like, well, you killed one of us, we're gonna kill you now.
Eye
It's
for
the
an
same
eye, yeah.
method, and you just bash
The whole
the
run-up was
guy's head.
terrifying. It terrified the crap out of me.
Yeah, like because I enjoyed that. Like, the
Trial,
whole, like,
second I
where
heard
she's
trial.
like, yeah, like the idea that they just get exposed to this community and they're like, we're gonna kill you because you killed one of us. But like you
In
said, Jordan,
public.
it's like you literally pushed a tree on us and that never came up because it was like we're pretty suspicious that tree didn't just fall down on its own and come after us with a murderous vengeance. You know?
Well, they
Like,
were all terrible lawyers.
And also,
yeah, they were well, yeah, and their way of getting out of it.
No
just
defense at
offer
all.
yourself
No
to the judge.
defense. Just lie.
Prostitute,
yeah, right.
pimp yourself
And
out to the
pimp.
judge, and you'll get out of your
Oh,
death sentence.
Nick, that's so funny because Nick and I watched the staircase together, and Nick said that was the most terrifying part was seeing all those rednecks on the jury, and like they didn't understand anything that there was being
Oh my
said.
gosh, they were all
They
stupid.
were
I
able
looked
to
at them. I'm
conflate the
like,
idea. Yeah,
I'm like,
they
it's
were
game
able to
over.
conflate the
It's
idea that
game
a
over.
closeted homosexual could closet be a murderer. Like
Right.
that was crazy. To
That
me.
was terrible.
Like, that was horrifying.
The
They're like,
owl
hey,
did it.
He likes having. What else could he be hiding? Maybe he
Right.
likes to kill
That's
people.
it.
It's like
That's all they needed.
That's Nick's worst fear is just having a jury that is like completely stupid.
Stupid. Yeah. But I think we can all agree that it was an owl. It was an owl. That's what happened. She
yeah,
was
the
attacked
more
by
I
an
think
owl.
about it, the more I think about it. Well, again, pretty scary, very scary. Finding the poker and everything else later.
That's a whole other discussion, but
Yeah, dude, we should review
That
the
is a whole nother
Staircase. Although I
discussion.
couldn't watch that. That is a punishing show. Okay, anyway, Cameron, anything else? Nitpicks or favorite quotes? or
yeah,
anything?
just kind of similar to what you were talking about. Just like, I don't think I've ever seen a show where it does the fake scenario, and I've ever like been like enjoyed it more because of that. It's always a little bit of a letdown when they show the fake scenario of like what you want to happen, or like, holy crap, that's insane, and it goes back to reality. I'm definitely glad. Me and Grant, I'm sure Grant already mentioned it. We were both like, if this fetching ends with her going away, like this is a 6, and then it, like we just see like this car start to swerve, and I was like, okay, at least they're saving that, and they just see her just fetching going insane. But
Throws the knife. It's so freaking bad. So sick. But then I'm curious, what you have to make a sequel now, because it's like, what's happening back at the village? If the boss man never returns, does Darius become the new leader? I don't know. I'm assuming Darius
Wrong
maybe just the
Turn
next
Remake
big
2.
brute. Wrong Turn Remake 2, which is the 9th movie or 7th, 8th
6,
movie
7,
in the
8. It'll be
installments.
8.
Wow. The 8th Wrong Turn movie. But they rebanded it. They rebranded it. Anyway. So real quick, would you guys recommend this movie? Let's start with you, Nick.
I would.
Jordan, Grant, Cameron.
yeah, it's really
No.
solid B. It's like The Descent as well.
What was that, Grant?
No.
Grant does not recommend this
I
movie.
mean, it's meh.
I would say I'd
It's
recommend
meh.
it. If you guys listen to us talk about it and this is your kind of movie, like, you know what you're in for. I enjoyed it. I think it's a really good horror movie. I like good
It's not a
movies.
horror, but it's a really good thriller.
Yeah, it's
No,
more of a
it's not.
suspense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a thriller
I hate
suspense.
Not a
Horrors.
horror movie. Like, if you mean like, slow down.
Like I wasn't
just because
scared.
it doesn't have
I was just-
supernatural things.
Well, the thing is, when you
I don't
when
know,
you
I thought there
find
was
out that
moments
they're
of
just
genuine
actual
terror.
people, when they take off their masks, that gets rid of all the suspense of the people. Like, yes, there's still jump scares, but the whole ominous like thing of like, who are they? Like,
Well,
they keep disappearing.
when they
Like,
were
that,
speaking
if that was
English,
throughout
I
the
was
whole
like,
movie,
what the
that would be a horror movie.
You don't need jump scares for a horror movie. In fact, some of the best horror movies
Yeah,
don't have
I
jump
agree.
scares.
I know, but
Okay, so real
but
quick.
as soon as you unveil
It's
who
not a
they
supernatural
are,
horror movie, but it is just a horror
No.
movie. I think this is
No,
definitely
no,
a
no,
horror
no.
movie.
I think it is too, but
Okay, real quick. The IMDb calls it horror, then thriller. That's what it's labeled as. It's a horror thriller.
That's
No.
because it's
Again,
alphabetical.
there were
Ty.
thrilling moments, and I wouldn't say that I was
IMDb
filled with dread the
also
entire.
says that Wait Until Dark is a horror movie, so I'm gonna need you to settle down. Bud.
it's a classic horror.
Okay, it's a
a
thriller.
yeah.
You would call that a thriller?
No, I'd call it a classic
Well,
horror.
okay, real quick. What defines a thriller and a horror? Like, explain
Yeah,
to me your
'cause
rules.
every-
Mine, I've always assumed that thriller have very few deaths. That's my assumption. There's moments of suspense, like cat and mouse, and then horror is like when there's gruesome deaths, like which this has in abundance.
Interesting.
Like anyone getting bludgeoned is horror. It's not thriller anymore. That's just me.
Yeah.
It's just violence.
Thoughts? No, I'm curious though. Like, what do you guys think? I think it's a good discussion. We've already dissected this movie.
Was anybody scared watching it?
I had moments of dread. Like, I wasn't like fearful, but I was worried. Like when they went in that cave with the blind people, I was like, "That's
Okay,
horrifying."
that was okay. That might right there make it a horror.
Yeah.
That was
yeah,
horrifying.
that
like, that's
moment,
a
that
great
was-
sequence where you have people with like gouged out eyes that are cannibalizing people. That's horrifying.
That was absolutely
was
horrifying.
horrible.
It definitely.
I almost cried and screamed.
Yeah, like a lot of the movie does play like a thriller, though. Cameron and Grant, I will give you that. But anyway, do you guys want to defend your
I don't know, because
position anymore?
for me, like, because I wouldn't call Get Out a horror. I would call it like a psychological thriller.
It's horror.
I think they
but
called it a cultural horror, right? Or what did they
They
call
changed
it?
it just so
called
they could win an
something else.
award. It's so dumb that nobody
Well,
takes horror
it's just like
movies seriously.
when Hannibal Lecter came out, they called it the psychological
Yeah,
thriller because
and it's like,
people
it's a
just
horror.
pushed horror. Yeah, but it's still a character movie, right? Hannibal Lecter is a very compelling cannibal.
I think if people think horror and they just think jump scares, they think like supernatural.
Usually, I only consider it like true horror if it's paranormal or like supernatural. That's for me usually like what I would consider.
Interesting.
Yeah, me too.
And
Because
I hear
usually
what you're
thriller,
saying.
I just
Yeah.
consider like really
Yeah.
scary people or like realistic things, and that's what makes it like thrilling. But like it's not like in my mind like
That's
horrifying.
fair.
Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, what even is that? You know, it's just like
Right,
those are
like
just
anything
crazy
supernatural
people.
horror.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Like, have you ever seen like? Well, that's not. a
No,
good
it just
example.
says, I looked up
It
the
almost was. I was
definition
gonna say
of
Friday
horror
the 13th.
films, and all it says is what causes intense repugnance or fear or dread. And those are things I felt like we felt in this movie.
Definitely traps
Well-
those feelings for sure.
Look at what thriller
yeah.
means, Jordan.
All right, I'm looking up the
Yeah, what thriller? Yeah, Jordan. Look
Yeah,
up
you
what,
gotta look up the
what thriller
definition of
says.
yours to
Thriller
support
says,
your case.
Thriller says like It has no gratuitous violence.
It's a genre of fiction having numerous, often overlapping subgenres. Thrillers are characterized and defined by the mood they elicit, giving viewers heightened feelings of suspense,
I
excitement,
felt
surprise.
heightened feelings of suspense, Jordan. So it's a thriller, right?
No, it's both. I'm just saying.
It's also a
Yeah,
horror.
it's
Yeah,
also
it's a
a
horror.
horror.
So,
Oh
like,
my
you can't
gosh.
explain to me that
You can't
pokers
say
in the
that's not
eyes and
thriller
bludgeon
then
people to
freaking
death.
say
Okay.
that I'm for not.
There was like 2 scenes of horror then. 2 scenes
There
of
you
horror.
go.
Yeah,
The rest
you're
was
right.
thriller.
Like, it wasn't an overwhelming.
Yeah,
like,
overall, no.
Well, then again, I was even gonna say Midsummer, but I'm like, technically that's a horror movie too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've seen Midsummer.
Total
but
horror.
Midsummer. That's definitely more of a horror than it is thriller. Anyway, we're down that rabbit hole. So I love it. I love it. Hey, Nick, have you seen Midsummer or whatever it's called? It was
No.
Ari Aster, the
No.
guy that made Hereditary.
the-
So if you like that one at all,
I don't know.
very
Remember we watched that movie, Nick, and you
Mm.
said you're like, this is about as bad as the time you saw Exorcist.
Which one was it?
the one where the girl cuts off her head.
Oh man.
oh, Hereditary.
forget
yeah,
it.
Great,
That-
dude.
oh, I'm pretty sure Hereditary was terrifying.
You're pretty
can't
sure
remember.
it was. Did you not?
He's
you told
trying
me,
to suppress
I
it from
blocked
his
out.
mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, Nick.
Sounds
I'm
sounds
sorry,
like it was
man.
horrible. Just like Exorcism, the original
Yeah.
2. Those were horrifying.
For sure.
Well, you said
Those are bad.
well, when you watch the movie,
And Chucky. Chucky's a horror too.
Speaking of
That's
Chucky,
the worst of them all. That's the scariest.
you know how to get over your fear of Chucky when you're a kid? I was terrified of Chucky. All you have to do is wait till you're like, I don't know, an adult and go back and watch it. You'll feel much better.
I still
about
can't
it
watch. I'm
because-
still scarred.
Are you serious, Nick? See,
Yeah.
I was too. I was terrified of Chucky. Like I had a phobia of Chucky. But watching him now, it's laughable. If you go back and watch the first one, where he just like yells and he's like, "That stupid filthy slut!" Ah! Like he's like essentially a foul mouthed, crass little.
he's funny.
Doll.
He's funny.
He's funny. Yeah, it's actually laughable now. But yeah, I will be honest. When I was a kid, Chucky terrified the crap out of me. I was terrified.
Dude, I
All right. Well,
Very scary.
used to always think
yeah,
Gremlins
I
were
would
gonna-
recommend
I
it.
used to always open my eyes during the shower anytime I would close them to make sure Gremlins weren't in my shower. I'm scared as shit. Bro.
Stabbing your ankles or sticking needles in your butt.
Multiplying.
Or multiplying. Just multiplying in the shower around you. That's terrifying. No, Cameron, I'm the same way. When I brush my teeth, I have my feet away from the sink, right? You have to be able to see your toes because I don't want something reaching out and grabbing my toes or a spider biting my foot and giving me convulsive seizures like in that movie Arachnophobia,
No,
dude.
mine was, I used to be afraid of chicken nuggets because I was afraid inside they would have those little bugs from the Mummy that would go up under your skin.
Oh my god.
Wait.
gosh, dude.
You used
Would
to
you
be
like
afraid
rip
of
open
all your
chicken
chicken
nuggets?
Like what kind of chicken nuggets? Like McDonald's
Jordan
chicken
Any
opens every
nuggets,
chicken
any-
nugget. Yeah, like I can't tell if you're being real.
Any nuggets, any chicken tenders scared me to death because somebody told me.
Now you love
What's
them,
that,
don't you?
nuggets?
Yeah, I
you
love
keep
'em.
calling us nuggets, dude, just because you fear us, Jordan?
I mean, you guys know Mummy, those bugs that crawl up under your skin, like that.
Oh yeah, terrifying. Dude, I couldn't watch Evolution even though that movie was totally
Oh,
dumb.
that
There's
bug.
a mosquito that goes in and crawling around freaked me out. I was like, it crawls under his skin and it's like crawling up. That
Most
was
terrifying.
I'm confused how you're associating that with a chicken nugget.
Well, because it's underneath
me
the
too.
skin. There's a layer of skin on the nugget.
No, I'm not seeing the connection
Jordan takes
there.
a bite of an M&M. This has skin. Oh,
Somehow you look.
That's not big enough. It had to
Anything
be
with a hard
bigger. It had to
shell.
be bigger.
an orange. Oh, a banana.
Your
I'm
mind
sorry,
is
Jordan. I'm
an
just feel so
Chicken
bad
nuggets
for you.
incredible
skin.
thing, isn't it?
Chicken nuggets look like beetles. No, Jordan, like I said, I was terrified like I said, going into to pools, I was afraid of deep pools. Like I
Oh,
dive
yeah.
off the diving board
definitely was.
and you land in the water. As soon as you get down, you like swim straight up and go to the side and climb out because who knows if someone just randomly left a freshwater shark in the
Yes.
pool. I don't know.
That's what I thought.
What?
Oh yeah.
Why
What
not?
happened?
Swimming at night terrifies me.
Oh,
Absolutely
ouch.
terrifies
Chicken
me.
nuggets and
never.
sharks in
an
the pool.
Outside
All
pool
right.
too. Dude, there was one time I saw a millipede swim out of the pool one time when I was swimming. I was like,
No. Oh, dude, yeah. In Nevada, we were in Las Vegas, right? I can't remember. There was a scorpion at the bottom of the pool, and our dad
yeah.
fished it out and put it in a jar, and it was still fetching alive, dude.
Yeah.
Fetching a scorpion at the bottom of the pool. How freaky is that?
That's
Ooh.
pretty freaky. That's
Freaking me
bad.
out. I'm looking under my desk right now, checking to see if there's any creepy crawlies. All right, guys. Oh, we end every podcast, Nick, by sharing movies that we've seen lately and movies that we're looking forward to seeing. Why don't you hit us up, Nick? What movies have you seen lately, and what are you looking forward to
Oh my gosh! You know what I saw? I saw Nomadland.
Oh, I heard about that. Is it good?
Yeah, it's not bad, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a slow-paced, not wrong turn. Like so. I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just, whatever.
Which one's that one about?
It's on Hulu.
It's about that chick. It's just like lives out of her van type of thing. These like nomad. They just move around and stuff. Actually, one of the characters is from the Madison area.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's
the guy.
She's the cop in Fargo type. She's also the girl in the Billboards.
Frances McDormand?
No, the girl in Three Billboards. Is that her name? Sorry.
Yeah, Frances
I'm sorry.
McDormand. Yeah.
No.
That's her. No.
The other girl.
Let me finish. But yeah. The other girl from Ebbing, Missouri, or Three Billboards Outside Missouri and Fargo. Yeah, I know the girl.
People were like, you just need to watch it.
Awesome.
I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
people from my work were
I'm like,
saying
I
the
knew
same
it.
thing, Nick. They're like, you need to see it. You need to see it. And I'm like, it's a little.
I have heard it's good. I love everything she's in. She's a phenomenal actress. There, I said it. Phenomenal.
Yeah. That and then I just recently watched, going back a little bit, Blue Streak. That's not that old, actually. 2016 or something with Martin Lawrence. Yeah, Martin Lawrence, Dave Chappelle, Luke Wilson. It's when he's like a diamond thief. He's got to hide his diamond, and he's got to try to...
You just explained like my perfect cast for a movie. Are you kidding me? That
Yeah,
sounds
perfect.
great.
He's got to find the diamond, but the diamond's in a police station. He's like, oh crap, how am I gonna get up in here?
Oh, that's great.
So you should watch it.
Speaking of
Anything you're
Chappelle,
looking
I
forward
watched
to?
Con Air. I couldn't believe Chappelle.
Oh
was in
yeah,
that
looking
movie.
forward to the one
Crazy.
that Jordan got me interested in. He keeps trying to send that Nobody. No, is that what it's called?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that one on
Yeah,
the
no,
pod.
Bob Odenkirk.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, and super excited about Coming to America 2. I love the first one. Now they got
Oh, really?
a second one. Oh my, Eddie Murphy.
It's great to
come
see
on.
Eddie Murphy in things again, man.
Yeah, right. And then that Godzilla vs Kong might be pretty cool. So that.
Well, Adam
what's
Wingard
going
is
on
going
with
to
that.
direct it. So it's the guy who
Is
did,
Adam Wingard
yeah,
directing
the one
it?
who did The Guest. Oh yes.
Then it's absolutely gonna be freaking amazing, and it's gonna have the best, and it's gonna have the best ending. It's gonna be a shocker.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great.
To be real, if they can make anything like Kong Skull Island, I enjoyed my time. But I'll be honest, I was underwhelmed with that trailer a little
it's
bit.
gonna be
like,
I
feel bad saying that.
Though you know what, it's
So-
all gonna lead up to the ending. It's gonna be the
yeah.
best.
So
ending
Nick,
ever.
quick question: of all the monster movies, did you like any of them so far? Like, do you have a favorite so far? Or?
What do you mean? Of what monster
Well, I'm
movies?
just curious because you mentioned Godzilla. You're excited for the Godzilla movie and King
Did
Kong.
you
so
like
I was
the
just
other
curious if,
Godzilla
like,
ones on King
did
Kong?
you
Oh
like the
yeah, well I
other-
like
yeah.
not so much the Godzillas, but I like the Kong movies.
Yeah, right. Kong
I do
Skull
like
Island
those.
was that-
Yeah.
I actually really did like that one too.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If they can make it kind of repeat that kind of vibe and feel,
Right.
and
And
even
Godzilla
this-
isn't terrible. It's not. I mean, they've made a
See,
couple different
I'm a
Godzillas.
defender. I actually enjoyed,
I enjoyed
the
the first
Bryan
one
Cranston somewhat.
super well.
Yeah.
Super good.
I enjoyed it, and they were like,
When is
there
that, from,
wasn't
like, the
enough Kong, but I'm
90s?
like, no, you don't understand. When you have too much monster, there's just too much monster, and I get it. Like people are like, Pacific Rim had plenty of monsters, but it's like, I enjoyed the suspense. It's kind of like Jaws, where it's like if you just focus all on the like to me, it's about the relationship. Anyway, plenty to nitpick on King Kong or the Godzilla movie, but I enjoyed it for the most part.
Well,
but-
I have, like Nick said, I have all faith in Adam Wingard. I loved every single one of his movies. I'm not been disappointed.
yeah, but didn't he?
Yeah,
is
Death
he
Note.
the one that did
Yes,
the Death Note?
I loved it. Nick loved it
That
too.
ending though, oh my, I love Death Note.
Yeah. Wait, Nick, did you watch the
No,
show
he's
or
never
did you
seen the
watch
show.
the movie?
No, Adam Wingard didn't do the show. I don't care about the show.
Yeah,
Dude, watch the
movie.
show if you like the movie. You don't like the show.
yeah.
a
If
lot.
you like the movie, my goodness, Nick, the show was much better. But
I
again,
like that movie mainly because of the ending. I was like, wow.
see, that's crazy that you say
I don't
that.
even
You would
remember
love
the
the show
ending.
then, but yeah.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That's sad.
So,
It's an
anything
Adam
else,
Wingard
Nick?
classic.
Any other remaining things that you're looking forward to seeing?
Oh, that's just pretty much it for those. Yeah.
It's great. Love it. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. This is Futro Hidden Movie Gems. Write us a review, 5 stars. Leave us a comment or an email, futuromovies@gmail.com.
Check us out on
And
Spotify.
you can check us out. Cameron loves to mention that we're on Spotify. So you can check us out on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. And you
Oh,
guys,
wait, Nick, you
stay
want to tell us
safe
people
and-
where they can find you on social?
Yeah, Nick, you want to share?
Plug something?
MadtownResale.com. MadtownResale.com. We got our new website coming up. We got all your Jordans. We got all the Dunks. And we got your Yeezys. So just hit us up. Call me. Maybe.
Carly Rae
Nick, I
Jepsen
just got
here.
the Zoom
Okay,
Freak
all right.
2s for super cheap a couple days ago.
Hold on, man. Do we got a second here? Hold on. Let me just show you this real quick, Cameron, okay? Just look at this. Look at that.
Oh my
Just
gosh.
Boom, boom. Boom.
Yeah, he's
Just
got a whole
boom.
warehouse now.
Just goes,
So-
keeps going back. Yeah. That's nice.
So everybody, thanks for tuning in. This is Future Hidden Movie Gems signing out. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
don't go hiking in the Appalachian Mountains.